Hi, my name is Ann Marie Harriger. I'm the owner of AM Smile Sleep Training. I have been in business for 7 years and I have helped over 500 families end sleepless nights. What inspired you to start AM Smiles and what problem were you hoping to solve for moms? Well, when I was in graduate school for early childhood education, I was also a nanny for a local family with a 5-year-old and a 3-month-old. And the 3-month-old had horrible sleep habits. The only way that this baby would sleep, and I kid you not, was if I was pushing him in a stroller with my pinky in the roof of his mouth. And the reason was he was a baby who could only sleep when he was being nursed. I obviously could not nurse him, and so my pinky was the closest thing to a nipple. And I remember one morning, it was torrential downpouring, and I said to the mom, what should I do for a nap today since it's monsooning outside? And she gave me an umbrella. And I will always remember that moment because I was like, this is insane. I cannot believe that this is what has to happen for this little boy to be able to sleep. I also really witnessed firsthand what sleep deprivation does to a family. The baby was constantly fussy and unhappy, and the mom and dad, well, let's just say that when I walked into their home every day at 7 a.m., you could feel the tension because everybody was so tired. So I knew when I finished working with them that when we had children of our own, things were going to be different. How has your family influenced or supported the growth of AM Smiles? Do they get involved in your business at all? My oldest son, his name is Declan, who is 13, absolutely influenced AM Smiles. And the reason is that when he was first born, of course, he was a newborn, he wasn't sleeping well. I was sleep deprived. My husband and I were snapping at each other. Things were not going all that great. And I spoke to a friend who talked to me about sleep training. We sleep trained him at 5 months old, and life was good. This was when I was like, okay, I love sleep and what it does to our family. Honestly, good quality sleep is the glue that holds together a healthy lifestyle. And so for me, it was very eye-opening to see what life with a baby and also getting good quality sleep was. Have they helped with the growth of my business? In the beginning, yes, very much so. My husband, Dave, he and I have been together for over 20 years. We have been married for 15 years in June, and Dave is an entrepreneur. Dave was the one who kind of gave me the inspiration to start AM Smiles. And he approached me 8 years ago and said, I hear you saying the same thing all the time. You're helping friends, you're helping friends of friends, you're helping family members, and what you're doing could be something. So Dave absolutely helped me get it started. And I would even say in those first beginning years as a brand new entrepreneur, I didn't have the business confidence to always feel good about how I was talking to my customers and when things needed to be addressed. And so I would text him at work, like all the time. This is what my client said. What should I say? And he, about 6 years ago, sat me down and said, you know what you're doing, and you don't need to ask me these questions anymore. And so he does not help me with that anymore. Every now and then, if I have a big business decision, he will help me. But I would say for the last 6 years, I have been cruising on my own. And the last piece that I would say my family has helped is my youngest son, Cabin, is the face, his baby face, is the face of AM Smiles. What does having a strong she squad mean to you? How has it impacted your life or business? And what advice would you give to women looking to build that kind of support system? This is such a great question. So a she squad to me is having a support system of women in so many different facets of your life. I have a wonderful She Squad that has been building over the past 13 years, I'm going to say, since I became a mom. And this is made up of friends that I've had since I was in college. This is made up of my sisters. This is made up of, most recently, friends that I have made through my kids. The moms that I sit on the sidelines watching baseball games. The moms who are going through the same stages of motherhood, who listen without judgment and encourage you and support you so that you know you're not doing this alone. Now, what I would say to a new mom about developing your She Squad, it's tough because it happens organically. I remember when my first son was born, who is now 13, wanting mom friends so badly. When I would get invited to a birthday party or a play date, I was like putting on full makeup. I was putting on good outfits because I wanted to impress moms, because I wanted them to like me so that we could become friends. And what I can tell you is that that's not how you make friends. What I have learned is that you make friends naturally with the people who are like you, and it has nothing to do with your appearance or how you're showing up. It has to do with the connections that you make. Kind of coming full circle is just to trust that you will meet these women and you will have your She Squad, but you have to be patient because it does take some time. What makes AM Smiles different from other sleep coaches, and how do you think it is impacting your clients? This is a pretty easy question. And the reason is because I've done a lot of research on my competition and what their programs look like. Most sleep coaching programs last 2 weeks. And the reason they last 2 weeks is because that's about how long it takes to sleep train a baby. My program lasts 6 weeks. I have found over the past 7 years that the most success comes when a family prepares for sleep training. There's a lot that goes into sleep training, and you really do have the best progress when mom and dad or mom and mom take a week before to not only get themselves ready, but also get their baby ready. So that adds an extra week to the beginning of sleep training. The last 3 weeks are for reinforcement, and this is the game changer. The time after sleep training is fragile. These brand new habits and routines and schedules can be undone so easily unless they are properly reinforced. So I like working with my families for an additional 3 weeks to be sure that these new habits are reinforced, because this takes your baby from sleeping great for 2 weeks to having an incredible sleep foundation that sticks with them throughout their childhood. What has been your proudest moment so far on this journey? My proudest moment. So I am going to think back to a mom who I worked with probably 5 years ago, who, when she came to me, she was so defeated, and she was like, I'm coming to you because a friend of mine referred me to you, but I don't think you're actually going to be able to help me because things are so bad with my baby that there's no way things can get better. And I have to tell you that her prefacing this made me very nervous. I was like, oh my goodness, like maybe I won't be able to help her. But after she and I sat down and talked, her baby was waking up, I kid you not, 12 to 13 times a night. And within 4 days, this baby was sleeping straight through the night. And so I think I was so proud because this mom told me at the end that I literally changed her life. And I was also very proud because when I first started working with her, I was very concerned about whether or not I would be able to have an impact on her family. And we had success on both ends. What is the best piece of advice you have been given by someone in your She Squad about motherhood or just life? This is super easy because I got great advice from one of my best friends recently, and it was, you can only worry about something once. And so my oldest son, who is 13 years old, I was telling her about how he's getting his license in 3 years and I'm already concerned about it. And she literally put her hand up and she said, you can only worry about something once. So are you going to worry about your son getting his license now when he's 13 or when he's 16 and he's actually driving? And I was like, excellent point. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So that is my advice to you. Only worry about something one time. One thing that makes you smile no matter how stressed you are. That one thing that makes me smile no matter how stressed out I am is my puppy. There's something that I do every day that is not only for my puppy, but it is also for me. And she and I go for a walk. It's so important for her to run and get exercise. But honestly, I do it for myself because I am out in nature. I'm breathing fresh air. I'm getting sunlight. And honestly, watching my dog run brings me so much joy. If you could give your teenage self one piece of advice from everything you've learned as a mom and a business owner, what would it be? Well, something that I would love to tell my teenage self is to, I think, sit back and enjoy as much as possible and really trust. Something I've learned in business ownership and motherhood is that you cannot control too much. And the more you try to control, the more overwhelmed and stressed you get. So if you just trust, things really do work out. And so that's the one piece that I would like to tell my teenage self.